Who doesn't love chicken wings? Come on. Nice crispy skin, full of flavor, covered in hot sauce. Well, I'm going to show you how to do it nice and easy on the pellet grill, so stay tuned. It's about to be delicious up in here. Everyone, to make these chicken wings is nice and easy. First thing you got to do is cut them. I like getting the fresh ones instead of the frozen ones from the store. Don't be intimidated. Just get you a nice sharp kitchen knife. What you're doing is you really want to slice in between that joint. You don't want to go through the bones. So you're going to be cutting off the tips first. Start off just kind of by feeling for that round bone there and going right in between the two. You can see it just cuts right off. It's really not tough. Sharp knife will make it nice and easy. But, you know, for lack of better terms, it's almost like you're feeling for a little elbow in there. But you find that spot and your knife will just cut right through it. If you're hitting the bone, you're going to have some issues there. You can really kind of get into a rhythm there. You just kind of stretch that out a little bit. You'll find that joint and that'll cut right off. And then you go on the other side. You're going to kind of feel for that little elbow spot, for lack of a better term, and it just slices right through. All right, we'll get you a little bit of a better view there. So again, you're just kind of feeling for where those bones come together. And that'll slice right off. If you flip it over to do the other half, you can kind of really feel that little joint. And then that cuts right off. All right, it's right there. Once you kind of get the hang of finding that joint, it goes nice and easy. Once you get it right once or twice, you know, it's really not tough. Oops, see, I got the bone there. If you hit that bone, just feel for it again, do it again. So the next thing we're going to do after we cut these is get a base coat of seasoning on there. We're just going to do a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic. I don't have them pre-mixed, so I just use a little garlic salt. This is a garlic sea salt that I really like to use. I always prefer to use a natural salt over iodized salt. And I like to spread these out before I season these. I'm actually going to end up putting these in a bag with a little bit of olive oil and vinegar, almost like a a la minute marinade sort of a thing. But I like to spread these out before I season them, just because it kind of gives me a good gauge on, you know, how much seasoning I'm putting on there. Give it a nice little layer of fresh cracked pepper. Nothing substitutes fresh cracked pepper. It doesn't have to be perfectly spread out, because again, it's going to go right in the bag. This just kind of helps me gauge how much seasoning I'm putting on it there. Now I'm going to flip these over and do the other side. All right, and we're going to do the same thing over here. And hit that with a little bit of garlic pepper, or excuse me, garlic salt. And don't be afraid to go a little heavy on this, because it's going to be sitting there with olive oil and vinegar, you know, so a lot of it's going to come off of the chicken by the time it goes onto the smoker. So if you go a little heavy, that's no problem. We're going to put another coat on after it comes out of the liquid there. All right. I like to go a little heavy on the black pepper. All right. Such a shame to get it all nice and pretty spread out like that, because now I'm just gonna put it right in this bag. You got some extra seasoning. Go ahead and sprinkle that in there too. This is just an oven bag, everybody. I would have preferred to use a gallon Ziploc, but I didn't have any more gallon Ziplocs, so I'm using this. But use whatever bag you like. All right, so from here, we're gonna hit it with a touch of olive oil. Just drizzle a little bit over it to where it looks like you'd be able to get a decent coat going. And it's a little apple cider vinegar. Use whatever vinegar you like. I'm using apple cider vinegar. It goes real well with the smoky flavors of barbecue, but feel free to use white wine vinegar, whatever you want, everybody. All this is gonna do is add a little brightness to that base of flavor there. We'll let a decent amount of vinegar get in there. That made it a little more. With the mother. All right, from there, just close this bag up. Comes with these nifty little zip ties. These oven bags are awesome, by the way, everybody. I don't know if you've ever used these before, but if you're ever making your Thanksgiving turkey or roasting a whole chicken, anything like that, even a roast beef, you can put it in these oven bags and it locks the vapor in, and so it kind of steams and braises in its own juices and really makes for a nice moist result no matter what you put in there. The chicken wings are small. It won't take long for these to marinate. All right, maybe, I like to let it go for a couple hours. Let it go for at least half an hour if you can, but if you can let it go for 2 hours, that'd be even better. I'm gonna go ahead and toss these in the fridge. Everybody, I've got that pellet grill up to temperature. I'm gonna be smoking these wings right around 275, between 250 and 275. I'm thinking it's gonna take about an hour and a half. One little tip here for you. I place them on one of these bacon sheets here. Do it upside down, because then you can slide that around inside the smoker, and if you need to move it, it'll take you a lot less time, and you'll be able to keep your smoker up to temperature a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and spread these chicken wings out. Another thing I like to do is put the flats on one side and the drums on the other side. This way I can make sure it's cooked a little bit more uniform. I'll put the bigger wings towards the outside and the smaller ones towards the inside, because the outside cooks a little faster than the inside. And then of course, with it being on this bacon rack right here, you can slide it around, turn it around in case you might have a hot spot inside your pellet grill. One corner of my pellet grill tends to get a little hotter than the rest of it, so I'll be able to, kind of turn these around and get them to where they need to be. That way I can ensure a nice even smoke there. They actually make chicken wing racks too, everyone. If you decide you're gonna be doing this quite a bit, go ahead and invest in a chicken wing rack. You can find those on most barbecue websites. From that apple cider vinegar and the salt and pepper and garlic that we already put on there, these have got a nice base of flavor. We're gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of top flavor as well. This is some of my normal barbecue rub that I like to use on almost anything. I mix it up myself. I just put it in an old onion salt jar. But this is basically gonna be a mix of onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, a little bit of paprika, and brown sugar. Don't let me forget that brown sugar. But I'll get a nice little coat here. And you can season these with anything you like. I do a nice basic barbecue seasoning just because it goes well with the smoke. I don't get too crazy on the seasonings at this point of it, because I've got some nice sauces that I'm gonna top this off with. I just picked up some hot sauces from a company I saw on Instagram called the Hellfire Hot Sauce Company. They don't do all the concentrates and additives to make it artificially hot. They try to make their sauces as spicy as possible with just pepper mashes. So I'm looking forward to trying these. And again, I do like my chicken wings a little on the well done side. I like that skin to be extra crispy. So I've got that smoker. Mine goes from 250 right up to 300, but sometimes it runs a little hot. So I've got my smoker set at 250, and that way it should get me right in that 275 range for most of the smoke. If it seems like it's having a hard time getting up to that temperature, I'll click it on up to 300 there. But you can cook this over any type of grill you like, everybody. I don't like doing these over direct heat, especially if I'm using my regular barbecue rub. If you cook over flames, you definitely don't want any sugar in your rub or anything, because that sugar will catch on fire and you'll get a lot of burn on top of your food there. All right. I'm almost ready to mix up another batch of this barbecue rub. And I put this barbecue rub on pretty much everything, everybody. Unless I'm really looking for any sort of a unique flavor, you know. It's kind of an all-purpose seasoning. I'll leave my ingredients for the barbecue seasoning in the description, everybody. Real easy to throw together. And I like doing my own seasonings as opposed to getting store-bought seasonings. Just because store-bought seasonings, a lot of times they're going to put some sort of additive or preservative in there for obvious reasons. I don't feel like I need the additives or preservatives in my food if I don't need them. And again, this is a great way to do chicken wings if you're trying to cook on the light side, everybody, because you're not adding any extra fat to this at all. We did a little olive oil when we were letting this marinate, but we're not deep frying this, that's for sure. And these are gonna get nice and crispy and delicious. All right, so these wings are gonna be full of flavor. They're gonna be delicious, I can promise you that. Let's go ahead and get these on the smoker. All right, so I've got my pit boss up to temperature here. I had it set for 250 and it was hovering right at 250. So I went ahead and bumped that up to 300. I'd like it a little hot. That way, again, we can get that skin nice and crispy and these will be perfect. I'm using a kind of a mixture of wood. I use the Traeger signature pellets normally, but they had a sale on the Kingsford flavored pellets down there at Smith's. I just picked some of those up. It's got like a garlic and paprika sort of a flavor, which to be honest, I was a little hesitant to use, but let's go ahead and give it a shot and see how it turns out. So the hot spot on my smoker is going to be right over here towards the back left. All right, I'm going to put those big fatter wings right there towards the back left. Okay. I'm going to come out and turn that in about 45 minutes and flip all the wings over. Try to get an even cook as much as possible. You may notice I had some veggies on the top rack in there, everybody. I've also got a batch of my signature barbecue sauce going on as well. Okay, these chicken wings are looking pretty good. It's been about 45 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out and flip them and stick that back in there. All right, I've got these wings flipped. Go ahead and slide these back in. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to put the drum side towards the hot spot in my grill. You can see those veggies up top. I'm gonna pull these veggies in right now too so I continue making my sauce. Okay, so another 45 minutes has passed. Let's take a look and see how these chicken wings are doing. All right, I can already look and tell these need a little bit more time. They're almost there, but they're not quite dark enough yet. I can still see some red blood. Still needs a little time left. I'm gonna go ahead and give these another 25 minutes or so and come back and take another peek. Crank that up just a little bit. All right, now these have been on here for about 2 hours. As you can see, these are looking nice and golden brown. These are getting there. I think they could probably still use about another 15 minutes or so. I'm gonna go ahead and glaze some of these with barbecue sauce, and then I'm gonna leave the rest plain so I can try some of these hot sauces. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with a little bit of ball crooner, a special. It's my house-made barbecue sauce. Why we call it that is a whole different story. All right, we're a little over 2 hours now. We got to be getting pretty close. Grab one of these and see what it looks like on the inside. It's nice and hot. All right. Yeah, so this isn't quite clear. So this actually needs a little more time. Finger looking good, but it's best not to rush it. I wanted to keep it around that 275 range, but I think for the most part it was cooking around 250. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and bump this up a little bit and see if we can put a rush on this chicken. Okay, it has been long enough. We're looking at about 2.5 hours, and those wings are perfect. Let's get those inside and put a little hot sauce on them. Now these wings are delicious just the way they are. I glazed a little bit of it in barbecue sauce, but feel free to serve this up with your favorite ranch or blue cheese. I'm definitely a blue cheese guy. Got a few carrot sticks and celery sticks ready to go. All I need is a NFL game. Speaking of which, I'm a Giants fan. Did not go so well for us. Let's give this a taste with this blue cheese. That smokiness is really prevailing in the flavor profile there. Really shining through. I really love the texture that the smoke gives to the meat. It's nice and tender. And the skin is beautifully crispy. That barbecue seasoning that we put on there really did it justice. Really stood up to the barbecue sauce as well. You're really gonna love this recipe. Takes a little time, but it couldn't be easier. Of course, you didn't think I was gonna eat these plain, did you, everybody? Wanted to fire this up some. So I've got one of my favorite hot sauces here, and then I've also got a few that I just ordered from Hellfire Hot Sauce. I just found them on Instagram. Their whole thing was they make super hot sauces without adding any extracts or pepper spray or anything like that. So just all hot pepper mashes. So I'm looking forward to trying some of these. But the first one I'm gonna be trying here, this one's made by the Bravado Spice Company. Got it over at the Pepper Palace. It's ghost pepper and blueberry. It's got 4 out of 5 hot pepper rating there. But I've had it before. It's got a little kick to it. The blueberry's nice and sweet, and that really goes well with the smokiness of the wings. But these are the Hellfire Hot Sauces I've got here. I know you can't really see them with the camera, so I'm gonna hold these up for you. The first one here from Hellfire, this is the First Blood. And they've got lots of different types of hot sauces. If you're a hot sauce addict, you really gotta go check them out. Hellfire Hot Sauce. You know, they do everything from mild hot sauces to, you know, I think they've got a steak sauce too, a chili sauce. But so this is one of their more hotter sauces. This is made from red habanero. Okay, this is made from Caribbean red habanero mash right here. So it's gonna have a little bit of heat, some sun-dried tomato. After that, I'm gonna ramp it up a little bit more. This one is the Fear This hot sauce from Hellfire. This one here, look at that. Look at that, tell me that one's not supposed to be aggressive. Okay, this one is featuring the hottest pepper in the world, the Carolina Reaper pepper. And that's actually, you know, the first ingredient is Carolina Reaper mash. And then we've got this one here. This is the Hellfire Fiery Fool. This one claims to be the world's hottest sauce without extract. And this one's made out of all the hottest mashes, scorpion peppers. The first one is Reaper peppers. Yeah, so this one's gonna be pretty hot. Let's give these a taste. Got me a Thai iced tea right here to kill the burn, and plus, well, I wouldn't have. I have me a Thai iced tea. But first up, we're gonna try that ghost pepper and blueberry sauce. Again, this is a great compliment to these smoky wings. If you can handle a little bit of heat, ghost pepper, I really like the flavor of it. It's definitely got a nice rich flavor, whereas a habanero pepper has more of that tangy sort of a flavor. It's a great sauce. Again, you can get that one at Pepper Palace. All right, here we go. So now we're gonna find these we're gonna try these Hellfire Hot Sauces. I found the Hellfire Hot Sauces just kind of looking around on Instagram. These guys actually provide some of the actual hot sauces for the Hot Ones show. So I imagine we're gonna have some heat here. But first up, we're gonna do this First Blood. And this is made from Caribbean red habanero peppers. And you can really taste that habanero in all of its glory. Never gonna shy away from it at all. It's got a little garlic to it. That's actually perfect for a hot sauce because it's super hot, but it doesn't sacrifice any of the flavor. It's delicious. It's got some real heat to it though, so I'm looking forward to seeing what these other two sauces are all about. Really good. And I dressed these pretty aggressively, to be honest with you, because I really want to be able to taste these flavors. There's so many hot sauces out there that are just spicy for the sake of being spicy, and they really don't showcase the flavor much at all. Well, so far with that first blood sauce, that is definitely not the case with the Hellfire Hot Sauce. That was delicious. Okay, so this one is the Fear Reaper. This one is mostly Carolina Reaper pepper. There's a lot of vinegar in this one. And vinegar is like a double-edged sword, really. You know, vinegar kind of opens up the taste buds a little bit. You know, that hot pepper gets right in there. Vinegar is almost like a little bit of a cheat. All right. Crimson ribs. I got a nice crispy wing on that one, which I really like. Oh, man. You know, so you get a lot of sun-dried tomato here, which has some sweetness to it. Man, this is really delicious. Ooh, yeah, Carolina Reaper pepper is hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're gonna have to have a little bit of a, tolerance for this, but if you do, check out Hellfire Hot Sauces online. I can't wait to try some more of their lineup there. This is really delicious. Yum, man. That was really good. That's a lot tastier than I was thinking it was gonna be. All right, next up, the Fiery Fool, the hottest sauce in the world without extract. Well, we'll just see about that. I'll put a lot of it on there too, man. I don't know if you can see that. Hot. Ribs and ribs. There we go. Ooh. You know, I've got this scorpion pepper Tabasco sauce. And now that I taste this with the scorpion pepper in there, I'm kind of starting to figure out what that scorpion pepper really kind of tastes like on its own. I can definitely taste that Reaper pepper, same like it was from the Fearless hot sauce, but that scorpion pepper is a little bit different. I gotta say, on sheer taste, my favorite of the three new ones is gonna be that Fearless. It's a nice spicy sauce and really delicious. If I was gonna toss it up against that blueberry sauce, oh man, that'd be a tough call. I'll tell you what. I don't know. They're both so good. I'd say this one would be the more crowd friendly because I don't think a lot of people could handle this sort of a heat level. But just for me, I might go with this one. I might go with that Fearless hot sauce. That's really good. That's how you make smoked chicken wings. See you next time, everybody.